G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is the Smitty special. This is Gunrunners Arsenal's unique plasma caster, and in terms of its functionality, I do really deem this weapon unique. See, the plasma caster of the standard variety has obviously different looks, but it actually fires in a semi-auto fashion. This one actually fires in full auto, and it is nice and fast, which is nice. So going over the looks of this is a few extra lights and dials and all of that nice greebling stuff to make this thing look like a proper plasma caster, and of course the front spikes are nice and flat rather than the curved pointy ones that we usually see on the plasma caster there. Now the namesake of this weapon, Smitty Special, is actually a reference to the original turbo plasma caster upgrade you can get for your standard plasma caster in Fallout 1. You can do it from a guy, I think his name's Smitty or something, obviously, but yeah, that's a nice little reference to the beginnings of this great Fallout franchise, and I do really like the art style of the older plasma casters here. It just screams classic Fallout that Bethesda really haven't sort of nailed. I kind of like this whole look and feel. It's kind of like retro futuristic. I really like that stuff. Anyways, we'll get stuck into some death claws. As you can tell, we're doing pretty good damage, and yes, we are firing the micro fusion cells just like the standard plasma caster, so that's pretty good. We got a cheeky sneak attack critical on that death claw there, so we're doing pretty well. Now, since we are firing our fusion cells, I've been playing too much Fallout 4 obviously, our micro fusion cells like this, we can actually load this up with max charge for better damage, and also we'll cut down on their damage threshold ever so slightly, which is, you know what, it's a nice improvement, which is good. So for some reason we haven't been detected just yet. Now we have, and we can lay waste to that death claw quite easily. Haven't taken a hit yet. One hit wonder Abigail here right now should be doing pretty well. The one thing I've noticed about the animations is when you walk around with this thing whilst crouched, you look like that. It's so awkward and lovely. Okay, enough giggling at weird animations. We'll go ahead and kill some more death claws. Now, as you can tell, this thing runs through its condition quite quickly. We're basically almost near the threshold where we'd start losing damage on this thing. So that's rather worrying. So it's another weapon where you ought to carry a lot of your good old weapon repair kits along with you, because you won't find too many plasma casters or anything of the jury-rigged variety to keep this thing nice and repaired. Speaking of getting this thing, it's probably common knowledge by these days that you can find this thing in the Silver Rush, sold by pre-fucking Fallout 4 Nora, Gloria Van Graff. Same voice actor, if you didn't know. Everybody knows that by now. But yeah, I still find that really cool. I really like Gloria Van Graff now because she sounds like winter. Righto, so we've almost got this thing next to half condition. We're going to quickly repair this before we take on Mummy and Chad's. Or rather, Chad and the two mummies. I guess he's quite the player. He's got two chicks on the go at the moment. He must be quite the happy Deathclaw. Okay, we'll get ourselves a nice little sneak attack crit here. Looks like these guys have got their claws raised though, so they're in a state of caution, which means no sneak attack criticals for us. We'll execute our bats run here. And the thing about energy weapons in this game, despite this being a heavy weapon, is it actually is really good with the old action points there. And also, would you care to aim this thing properly? Also, the sound sometimes glitches. Sometimes the sound just sort of cuts over itself, and you can't actually hear this thing properly, and other times it'll work just fine. I think this is actually firing the, what's it called, the Tesla cannon noises, which is kind of strange. I think, ooh, what are you doing up here? That's too close. You gotta go down now, mate. Oh, it's only a young Deathclaw. You know what, we should probably eliminate him from the Deathclaw gene pool because he has discovered how to climb certain rocks, so you've got to go. We've got one there who's failing to climb rocks, but we've got to kill him because it'll make Mummy angry and then it'll be more of a challenge. Okay, having a little bit of trouble aiming this thing when we're looking down like that. Maybe I should keep this in first person for a while just to see if that glitch sort of continues. When you aim down sights with this, it's just a simple zoom in, just like Fallout 3 made, which, you know what, works for this thing. There's not actually any sights on this unless you aim along that front little stabilizing fin there, which I guess that'd be kind of cool, but it might get in your way, although it's not a whole lot of mass to actually get in your way, so, you know, that'd be cool if you could actually aim with that, but a simple zoom in will do just fine. That was a pretty devastating critical hit on Mummy there, and I see Chad, you're going down next, mate. I already tried killing you before, we'll get you this time. And we certainly did, negative 250 health for you, and isn't that nice? I don't think they can get around to me. I don't want to get clever girled by Deathclaw Mummy, that'd be terrifying. Okay, looks like we've got a hobbler there. We'll use him to try and hold up the rest of his Deathclaw friends. That one tried to run over to Mummy, see if she was alright. They're all trying to run over to Mummy. Now I feel bad. I've just ruined this Deathclaw society. Now I feel less bad because I am amused by their terrible pathfinding. I think that's a double kill on that, and we're looking in some other direction. Maybe that was too blinding for the courier there. And since that was a slow-mo cinematic kill, and the combat music has faded away, I believe we have actually cleared out Deathclaw Promontory there, and before this thing got bad with the reload. So yeah, you definitely want to carry all of your weapon repair kits along with you, because this thing will degrade quickly, especially when using the more powerful ammo. And yeah, I think that gives you a nice idea of what this thing can do. So let's go ahead and kill some giant-ass robo-rad scorpions with it. I said both this time, so I wouldn't be wrong. A 50% strike rate is good enough for me. Righto, so we've just done some rushing water, no other chems like turbo to slow down time or anything, and I just want to get this thing's rate of fire up a little bit. We'll reload this with some max charge, and something about these weapons of plasma casters is you don't carry that giant ass backpack on your back like you would with other heavy weapons of this style, like the minigun or the Gatling laser. Everything, I guess, is housed within the weapon itself, so you're not going to have a big goofy looking bag when you put this weapon away. You just sort of I don't know where it goes, but I guess every courier is like level 100 Skyrim Conjurer, because you can just do that and it comes out of nowhere. Isn't that great? Anyways, enough goofing off about the mechanics there. We'll go ahead and shoot this giant ass Robo Scorpion, and we're doing a pretty good job. Now I should probably start evading his radioactive shots because they're kind of scary. They can insta-kill me and create screen shake, which reduces my accuracy. But yes, now comparing this thing to the Gatling laser, I guess this is the sort of Gatling laser equivalent of a plasma gun, right? Now this thing shoots the plasma bullets at a much slower rate, and also the things aren't hit scanned. So that could be a problem when leading targets, I guess, but it's not really that much of a problem because the projectiles do aim. I mean, they do move fast enough, but that's something to consider there. It also does fire a little bit more expensive micro-fusion cells, and it only has a smaller ammo capacity as well, and fires a little bit slowly. But if I have a Gatling laser in my inventory for just a second, no I don't. 1 second. So we've got the Gatling laser here, damage 21, DPS of 429 at weight only 8. This thing weighs 1 pound more, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not really seeing any more reason to use the Smitty special over the standard Gatling laser. And plus, this has some sort of crazy soft target lock on. Somebody commented on this before, and I do believe this is an actual phenomenon too. If we sort of aim at the general direction, I think the Gatling laser locks on. Maybe this is just a mechanic with all of the guns. See? You saw the lasers lock onto that target. Maybe that's because the Gatling laser is a futuristic super smart weapon. But yeah, that just sort of happened. See, I wasn't actually centered in on that thing, so that's also a thing that the Gatling laser does. But, you know, the Smitty special just spits off plasma bolts wherever it damn pleases. So, you know, that's something to consider, especially if you're on console too, because you don't get the super precise mouse and keyboard aiming, you know, devices, so unless you've got the thing modified, but that's different. But yeah, that's something to consider too. So you also, yes, comparing the ECPs to the what's it called, the microfusion cells that this thing does fire. If we just go over to our ammo for a second, we've got the electron charge packs, and they are valued at one each. They're valued at 1-to-1 ratio. If we go down to microfusion cells, looks like they are highly more above that. See, we've only got 2,800 of those, and that's actually 8,600 in terms of value. So yeah, even buying the electron charge packs will be cheaper in the long run too. Granted, you do get through them a lot quicker though, so that's something to consider. But I think it's a little bit more economical overall to run the Gatling laser. Just off the top of my head, testing this thing, I think it actually is a little bit better to run the Gatling laser, but maybe some more sort of examination of this can be done with later. Maybe if I do a weapon versus, I'd say the Smitty special versus a Gatling laser. My mind is on the Gatling laser for that. But yeah, that's an interesting little thought I was having whilst using this thing, because it's basically a plasma Gatling laser at this point. It's just an automatic Gatling laser type weapon that shoots plasma guns, but has that nice, unique Fallout 1 style that I do rather enjoy very much. So I think I've filled up enough of your time talking. We'll just go ahead and kill a couple more things, and then we can wrap a bow on this video and call it one. Righto, let's end this video with a bang or 10 bangs in the forms of many, many legendary bloatflies. As you can tell, they don't have their glow, so I've attempted this more than once at this stage. So we'll go ahead and attack this one a few times, and bats will get... Well, that was a good sneak attack critical, and that one's dead right off the bat there, and something has worn off, and now my vision's all blurry. That kind of sucks, but looks like we're doing so pretty good so far. Look how fast this thing fires. Keep in mind we are under turbo and 3 pints of implant GRX. So there you go, this thing can fire pretty damn fast at this stage. Also, now the bloatflies have eliminated the traders, and now they're going to kick my ass instead, so I better make sure I finish off these pricks very, very quickly. I think we almost got all of the shots nailed on that particular bloatfly, which is great. I think my turbo and GRX is about to wear off in a second. It indeed has, as indicated by the game going back into real time, and my aim shut up for a second. I don't know what that was, and also this gun might be dead before all of these bloatflies are, which is very concerning. And I can't believe we actually hit that bloatfly there with whatever little chance we had. Okay, Smitty Special doing in some pretty good work here. I don't think I've ever tested against 10 bloatflies. Ooh, what? They don't know where I am. I guess their roaming range is very limited, and they're very unperceptive as bloatflies. Okay, they are attacking me now, so it appears going behind here out of sight is actually a good way to lose these bastards. I like how we're firing simulation projectiles. That's actually kind of interesting. And there we go. Rushing water has worn off, so that kind of sucks, but we've taken a sip from our trusty canteen. That's always a useful thing. Alright, we're running out of bloatflies to shoot right now. You've got a very low health pool, and so do you. So we'll go ahead, we'll take you out, and hopefully your explosion can do enough damage to your mate over there to actually kill him. We'll see. No, he actually got more health. Maybe I was looking at that same one all the time. Oh dear. Okay, we got shot there once, and again. I've got med-X on me. That's why we're able to tank 2 shots there, and also they must have hit me in the limbs there, so that's useful. Alright, looks like we got them all. Smitty Special has pulled through in the end, and it's less than good. Actually, what's its value now? Its value can't be that good. It's only at 2,000 value, which is nothing for a Fallout New Vegas weapon. Usually they're up there in the 10Ks for these crazy legendary, unique plasma casters. Anyway, plasma casters in and of themselves are quite expensive to buy. Pretty underwhelming for their price to a Gatling laser is definitely better than one of those things. But there you have it. That was the Smitty Special and the always wonderful plasma caster. I used one of these in a Fallout 4 model. I think it was Junkmaster, and that was awesome. I do love my plasma casters. It's good stuff. I love my classic Fallout things. I should actually play the game, shouldn't I? Never mind. Okay, so there you go. Obviously, to get this thing I told you before, Gloria Van Garth, but if she's dead, your friendly neighborhood Vendatron will definitely sell this to you instead. Probably at an unfavorable price because they don't have any sort of reputation system for you to screw them over or, you know, gain their favor. So in that way, it's kind of good. But yeah, the prices aren't always going to be the best. So if you'd like to see this in your game, go to those people. And yeah, have a good day. Yep, I've put out another 2 today. I hope you're happy. This is like a New Vegas extravaganza here on Captainoob. Thank you for watching, guys.